What's up guys, Paddy here and welcome back to another episode of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. This is the year in review. We have got a lot of things that we are going to be doing differently in 2015. A lot of new ideas. I'm going to be doing just basically, I've planned out pretty much the entire year in terms of main events. And I'm going to be probably sticking to that kind of narrative for this year. And we're going to try and just see, we're going to play it through, we're not going to make too many changes. Hopefully we'll be able to keep everyone. And we're going to hope that at the end of the year we're better than at the start of the year. I assume we will be. But yeah, that's what we're aiming for right now. We're hoping to just play out the year, see how it goes, and then come back here in January of next year and see where we are. So, let's take a look at the end of year awards. Tommy Cornell, deservedly Wrestler of the Year. Yep, not too much to talk about that. Tommy Cornell and his protege Wolf Hawkins won Tag Team of the Year. Again, you don't tend to see a lot of tag teams in here. Those two are, but mainly it's just people that are thrown together a couple of times a year. It's usually the big guys. I think, yeah, both occasions so far in this game, it's been the Wrestler of the Year also won Tag Team of the Year. That was different. Guidance Scouts are actually a tag team, but mostly it's like that, unfortunately. Young Wrestler of the Year was Fuyuko Higa. That's an interesting one. Is she the first female to win? She might well be. Oh, I can actually check. Matthew Keith is obviously not a female. But these Japanese people... Yeah, she's the first female to win Young Wrestler of the Year. I mean, she deserves it. She's pretty OP. So, yeah, fair play. Fair play to her. Veteran Wrestler of the Year was Shuji Inukai? Shuji Inukai, I think it is. And let's have a look at his match ratings in 2014. He had a 97, shit, and averaged an 83. Wow. Yeah, fair play to him. What's he like? Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. I wouldn't turn him down, let's just say that. Female Wrestler of the Year was, for the third year in a row, Shiori Japansha. I mean, it's not hard to see why, but yeah, that's an interesting one. There you go. Shiori Japansha beating out one of my favourites, Devil Karubi. There you go. Yeah, because, I mean, she's just better. Slightly better, I think, but better. Independent Wrestler of the Year, this is just someone who's literally unemployed. The awesome Kiari, way too old for me. Those aren't good enough stats to justify it. I should probably mute my PC while we're doing this. Company of the Year was... Pride, Glory, Honor Wrestling. Interesting. The company that Frankie Perez, I think he's known as Kill Switch here. Or is this the... Yeah, he is. I'm sure he works for these guys now. Or is it just Mikey? Or is Mikey not even working for them anymore? I'm sure we lost a bunch of people here. Matthew Keith? No. Huh. 1 second. I'm going to go look where Matthew Keith and Mikey James and Frankie Perez have gone off to, because I'm interested. Because it has been a year. I wouldn't be super surprised if they left, but... He's working for WLW, okay. I think that's the same as Mikey James. Yeah. Where's Frankie Perez working? WLW, never mind. I thought they went to Pride Honor. Never mind. My bad. Company of the Year, though, that's really good for them. They are the biggest company in Japan. They overtook Burning Hammer. That's interesting. You don't see that a lot. That's really good for them. Fair play. They're doing very, very, very well. Very, very, very well. They're more popular, actually, in the Great Lakes than we are. If that says anything. Good lord. Okay. Let's go back to the end of year awards. We're looking for Most Improved Company of the Year, I think it is. TCW. You don't often see a big company in this list. How much did they improve then? They must have had a bit of a drop. They improved by 3 points, game. 3. Really? Okay, they improved a lot in Canada. And they improved in one region of Mexico. I guess they got a little TV deal there. Not sure I agree with this game. Not sure I agree with this. Match of the Year was Tommy Cornell defeating Koshiro Ino. 99, no hundreds this year, at on a TV taping. The card of the year was another Pride Glory Honor card. That's cool. Manager of the year was not Dawn the Cheerleader, it was Laura Catherine Huggins, who has 94 charisma. Well, how much does Dawn actually have? Only 80, actually. She's a good promo, but she doesn't have as much charisma as I would expect for a manager. Announcer of the year was Peter Michaels, who I believe works for SWF. Is Duan Fry also SWF? Okay then. And Emma Chase, who also works for SWF, for the 5th year in a row. She's the only one who's ever won this Colour Commentator Award. Referee of the year was, for the first time not an American. Am I right in saying that? American, yeah. For the first time outside of America, it was a Japanese guy who I assume works for... Oh no! I assumed he worked for Pride Glory, considering, but no, he works for WLW, which I think is world level wrestling. Great referee. There's no doubt about that. And that's the end of the yearly awards. Let's take a look at the Power 15, Power 500. I'm assuming, yep, Tommy Cornell is on top. And Koshiro Ino, who had Match of the Year with Tommy Cornell, is up there as well. Holy shit, this guy's over. I've never even heard of this guy, and he's really over. He's really good. He's also really over. Below that, you've got Sean McFly and Steve DeColt, the North of the Border staples. You've got Yoshimi Mushashibo, who works for Pride Glory. You've got Johnny Bloodstone, who works for North of the Border. Champagne Lover, who I assume still works for South of the Border. Yep, usually don't see him move unless you're like a big enough company to steal him. Joey Minnesota, who works for TCW. Duan Stone, who probably still works for North of the Border. Pablo Rodriguez, who works for South of the Border. Kawashima, who I'm assuming works for Pride Glory. Yep. Pride, who I'm assuming works for Pride Glory. Yep. El Leon, who works for South of the Border. Owen Love, who works for North of the Border. Wolf Hawkins, TCW. Raymond Diaz, I'm not sure. We'll go top 25 and actually analyze it. South of Pride Glory, I'm assuming you work for Pride Glory. Yep. Mayan Idol works for South of the Border. Brian Vessey works for TCW. Yeah. Ricky Del Johnson works for TCW. Flemmy Lemming, I'm assuming this is SWF. Oh, it's Pride Glory. Rocky Golden works for TCW. William Hayes works for Pride Glory. El Diono, I'm assuming works for South of the Border, yeah. And finally, Masaru Ugaki, who I'm hoping works for Burning Hammer, because if Burning Hammer did not get a single person in the top 25, that's very disappointing. He works for Pride Glory! Burning Hammer does not have a single person in the top 25. Neither do we, by the way, so I probably shouldn't be, judging. There's probably our highest rated person, Fuyuko Higa, who we do actually have, who's there at 38. Weird, she's 38, yet Jiori Shepensha is 49, and Fuyuko Higa is a female, right? Yeah. So, I know she also won Young Wrestler of the Year, but I think she should have also won Female Wrestler of the Year. Any other interesting inclusions up here? If we can find our top-rated male wrestler, that would be cool. Enigma, 80. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Wow. I mean, he's getting older now, so it's not that surprising, but he's still a great wrestler. Rick Law, god damn, where are our guys? I'm assuming they're not that low down. One sec, we'll have a look. Who's probably our better guy this year? Probably Cammy. Cammy's probably put on the most good matches. He's rated 270th. I think that's actually down from last year. No, it is up. It is up. He's increased every year. Good. KC's probably quite high up. He's 366. Wow. Probably because he hasn't put on that great of matches this year. But wow. That is surprisingly low for him. I've got to start pushing him a bit better. Don't worry, we will be this year. Alright, we'll look through. We'll check out everybody's ratings in a second. Before we do that, I want to show you our progress we made this year. I want to also talk about Spillover, because I did a little bit of research about it last night. So, one second. We improved 9 points in our main region, the Mid-Atlantic, and we improved a whopping 8 points in the Great Lakes, which is great. A couple of mistakes we made here, like hosting our biggest show of the year in the Great Lakes, which improved our popularity there, but dropped our popularity in our main region, which is really disappointing. Right, so spillover. You get spillover at certain points. 1 second. It is here. You get spillover at E minus. When you get to E minus, and there's a specific number, I think it's 27, you get 5 points in your spillover regions. When you get to D, full D, which I think is 47, or maybe it's 41, you will get, I think it's 18 spillover points in the Great Lakes and the Southeast, which is why I'm not going to stop doing my shows in the Great Lakes, because there's no point stopping, because by the time we get to D, we'll probably have over 18 points anyway, so there's no point stopping now. When you get to C+, which I think is like 60-something, you will get to 29, I think, which is probably the best time to start running shows in these regions, but I'm just going to do it anyway, because I'm a madman, I guess. And when you get to B+, I think you get a little bit of extra spillover, but by that point you should be going cult or something by then. So that's why I'm going to continue doing shows in the Great Lakes, but what I am going to do to try and make some more money is host 2 shows in the Mid-Atlantic every month. We're gonna beta test it in January. I'm not sure about the rest of the year. That's the only change I'm thinking of making this year, is beta testing kind of like a 2-show month. We're gonna beta test in January with the Rip Chord Invitational, day 1 and day 2, and see what happens there. Also, I got a map here, because I was very confused about American geography. I was able to find a map of all the TCW American regions except for Hawaii and Puerto Rico. On a map, which makes things a lot easier for me to see. So, if you want to see, 1 sec, I can use the little circular. I could use tools. 1 second. I will find way too much fun with this. Is that gonna work? Yeah, that's gonna work fine. Okie dokie. Right, so we are, if I remember correctly, Mid-Atlantic is green. Yep, this is where we are. I should probably use a different color. 1 second, we'll use red. Alright, we are here. That's where we work. We get spillover into the tri-state, right? No, we don't actually. Really? We don't get spillover into the tri-state? That sucks. We get spillover into the Great Lakes, which is here. That's where we've been hosting our secondary shows. And the Southeast, which is here. The Southeast gets spillover into, I think, the Mid-South, but mainly Puerto Rico. 1 second. The Southeast gets spillover into the Mid-Atlantic and Puerto Rico. That's a little disappointing, but the Puerto Rico region does get spillover into the tri-state. So, I mean, we have limited expansion options, but we have expansion options. We only need to be, we need to get to 35 popularity in 3 regions to get a TV show. We're there in the Mid-Atlantic, we're getting there in the Great Lakes, and we can probably go to the Southeast and just get over there. But here's what I was thinking. The reason why I didn't want to... Oop, that's my thumbnail. The reason why I didn't want to go to the Southeast is because I thought Coastal Zone were there. Coastal Zone, which, by the way, we cannot post shows anywhere where our competitors are. Not our competitors, our friends in the Confederation of the Territories, which are Coastal Zone and New York City Wrestling. We cannot host shows in those 2 areas. We can also not host shows in a certain area in Canada, but we don't have to worry about that, and a certain area in Mexico, but we don't have to worry about that, because we're not going there. We're fine to expand into the Southeast and the Great Lakes, and hopefully that will be enough to get us a TV show. It should be, I think, is this... Yeah. This is the amount of regions we have to get 35 in. So I'm thinking it's 3. I'm thinking it's going to round up. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna expand into the Great Lakes first, and then once we're profitable, running 2 shows here, 1 show there, we're gonna expand into the Southeast as well. So hopefully we can get a TV show. Which once we get a TV show, well, we need to get about 3 million or so in the bank first, because TV shows are freaking costly. But we're gonna try and get a TV show. It's gonna take a couple of years to do that. Once we've got that, we're going to rise to cult and try and get a pay-per-view deal. And then after probably a year of running TV and pay-per-view, we might start running a profit again. And when we do, once we're on TV and on pay-per-view, the sky's the limit. Because, like, if you're putting on consistently, like, C+ to B- shows with a pay-per-view and a TV deal, you're going to go national eventually. And the same with, like, international. At that point, like, you've just got to expand your horizons. You'll be getting spillover into, like, I think it's Puerto Rico, or maybe it's Hawaii, I can't really remember. One of those 2 regions has spillover into Japan. So that'll probably be a good expansion route for us. possibly. Japan's really competitive, but we might be able to get something out of that. At Cult, National's going to be really difficult for us, because we're going to have to deal with national battles, which we're probably going to end up losing. But I think our product is good enough to get us good ratings at National. It depends on how well US Pro is booked, because US Pro is the only one that can really beat us, like, just because it's unfair. Because US Pro can put on, like, 100 rated angles and get 90 rated shows, whereas if we put on a 100 rated angle, it isn't going to make jack shit if our main event is, like, a C-. You know? So that's why, that's the only thing. Like, I think, at Cult/National, with my ruthless economic policies in this game, I think I can beat TCW. I just don't know about SWF and US Pro. And it depends on, again, US Pro usually don't do that well. It's just I'm scared of them because I booked them before and they're really, really easy if you know what you're doing. So that's why I'm always scared of US Pro. How are they doing these days? Probably Cult. Yeah, they are Cult. They're not doing too well at all, actually. They're on the rise, though. Well, they're kind of on the rise. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure didn't Nicky Champion get stolen from them or something? Yeah, he did. I think he went to SWF. Is Tyson Bane still there, or did he retire? He's still there. He's still working. What is he? What's his menace these days? It's 94. I think T-Rex has 100 menace. Yeah, he does. He's still working as a tag champ. God damn, he could be way more over. Anyway, yeah, let's go on to our roster. Let's talk about storylines first. Maybe we won't even discuss our entire roster, but let's talk about storylines. People ask for more storylines, and people ask for more storylines. They also ask for more Sam Keith on screen. So I decided to just go for it. Like, storylines are good, they are helpful. So I thought, why not? We'll do 8 storylines this year. So I Rule This Place, Damn It, which is at the moment just Mean Gene beating everybody. But, yeah, Mean Gene's title reign is going to last a decent amount, actually, this year. But I already have at least 2 people that could dethrone him. I got my main guy who I want to dethrone him at the end of this year. And then if he leaves, I've got a backup plan. So, storyline number 2 is the Keith succession, which is Greg Gage and Sam Keith, and we're probably going to put in a couple of them. Also, we're going to do a little thing where, like, we're going to say on screen that they're not related, but we're going to do this, like, nuanced thing where he's the true successor to the Keith name. So yeah, even though they are actually related, but yeah, whatever. American title reign, I wouldn't be for sure. Anyway, I go pretty punny with this. We got Frozier, Sam Keith as a supporting role, and Casey Valentine. And yeah, if you want to read any of these storyline descriptions, go ahead and pause. Got the big bruising bastard. Finlay O'Faraday is going to turn heel this year. I think he's probably ready to do so. And we're going to have him against Casey Glenn, because I want Casey Glenn to get a lot more over. And at 29 years of age, I'm probably going to let Finlay Faraday go at the end of this year. Because as useful as he is, and I might actually keep him because he is really useful, it is time for him to go and get a national deal, Finlay. You need to be working for, like, SWF's developmental program nowadays. We've done as much as we can with you. Has Cameron lost it? It's Cameron Vessey and the Ring Generals. What could possibly go wrong? I think that's going to be a decent feud, and it keeps Cammy reasonably over, while spreading a little bit of overness to the Ring Generals, who are probably going to end up breaking up in 2016 to do a little work in the main event, because they are certainly good hands to have around there, especially on the Mid-Atlantic brand, where there isn't really a tag division. Hollywood, this is Payback. Yeah, if you want to read that description, you know what's going on. Hollywood only has about 2 months left for the company, and this will probably transition into a Chance Fortune versus anybody else feud. I don't know who else. Maybe I can't really think. Maybe I can't think of anybody else who's probably going to be inserted into this feud. Maybe we'll do a title feud with Chance. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. Steve Flash, savior of the Great Lakes. This is the Great Lakes commentator and Steve Flash, so it's Steve Flash basically competing every week. Fuyuku Hika stirs the pot, and it's basically the women's division, which is doing really well, so I shouldn't, like, throw it to the side or anything, but yeah, that's basically all it is for now. Alright, so let's take a look at our champions going into 2016, although most of them I've already just referenced. For sure is our American champion. That's our secondary championship over on the main brand. Got the Great Lakes title, which is our secondary title on the secondary brand. The Women's Heavyweight Championship, which is our main title on the secondary brand. The World Heavyweight Championship, which is our main title. It's now A-Star Prestige. Mean Gene Cattley is our champion. He is the first three-time champion in the championship's history. And I am also Mean Gene Cattley, by the way. So, you know, a little bit of nepotism there. He was the only one who could take it, damn it. Greg Gage wasn't ready. The World Tag Team Champions are the Ring Generals. When did I do this? Okay. They probably have to drop those belts soon. Because I want the tag division to just go back to being, like, D+ rated matches on the reg. With the Aces of Mayhem leading the division over on the Great Lakes. But anyway, this championship is weird. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. As you can see, there's been 4 defenses of that title. Holy shit. Since the series began. So, I don't have much of a respect for this title as I should. So, we'll see what happens from here. The Rip Chord Invitational Challenge. I don't know who's going to win it this year. No, I do. I've already booked it. But, yeah. So, we've got Finley Faraday who won it first year, Matthew Keith who won it the second year. Whoever wins this tournament is supposed to get a title, well, in my canon, is supposed to get a title shot at some point throughout the year, so we will be continuing that tradition. And yeah, those are all the winners of it before. And the Sam Keith Classic, which was won by the Ring Generals last year, and will probably be won by the Ring Generals this year, but no promises on that one. I also found a new logo for the Sam Keith Classic off screen. Because it starts off without having one, so I found one. I also found an alt for it. I also found a bunch of alts, by the way. A bunch of alts. I did, but I haven't been using them. There's the alt for it. I prefer this one. I found a bunch of alts, but I haven't been using them yet. But I found a bunch of generic stuff. I can't remember. If anybody's watching this and you made some of these, oh shit, how many Ed Stone costumes do you need? He really looks like Duanda there. Yeah, like, if you're watching this and you made these photos and you want me to link you in the description, go ahead, I will. So here, we got a bunch of pictures that we can put on the regens now, which is always good, because I like regens. Oh, that's cool. Bullet Club. Yeah, so that looks like Gorgon. Looks almost identical to Gorgon. But yeah, these are just a bunch of renders that we can put on the regens, which is kind of cool. Those are all the Asians. These are all blacks. And then Hispanics. And we've got masked. We got a couple of Indians in there as well. It's cool. Ooh, so we got some masked luchadors. We got some refs, apparently. Announcers, white announcers. And I think that's it. Oh no, we got some more Asians. Or is this different? This might be different. There's a ton of photos. Like, if you want to look at them all, then pause. Even though you won't be able to. But this is really cool. It means I can check them all on the regens if they come through. Although I'm not sure. I think the Cornellverse automatically does that for you. But they're there if they need to be, which is kind of cool. If I see someone who has a similar thing to what we want, then I'll put it on there. So yeah, this is the boot camp stuff. Nothing's come through yet this year, obviously. Out of everyone that came through in 2014, I didn't sign many. Trix Triumph is a good wrestler, if I remember correctly. He's alright. I mean, he could be cultivated into something. I didn't really want any of them, but I'll probably sign a couple of them on like 6-month deals eventually. But none of them really captured my desires at the moment. I'm just looking through to see if there's anybody that I really want from this. But yeah, I'd love Jake Horde. Actually, I probably wouldn't. You know, I probably would not sign Jake Horde if given the option, because our locker room is bad enough already. Alright, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. I'm not going to go through the roster right now. You know the roster. I'll show it to you in brief. It's around that. That's our roster at the moment. It's down to 30 men. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens this year. There's a lot of good stuff going on. There's going to be a couple of title changes that I'm happy with. I'm going to start booking the main events to have a little bit more suspense to them. And hopefully we can start turning a profit. I really want to keep Steve Flash around because I think he's a benefit, but we could end up scrapping him for someone else. Future episodes are going to be done in I will show you the entire month in one video kind of thing. That's what the future episodes are going to be. So next episode is going to be the Rip Chord Invitational Day 1 and 2. And then if we end up doing multiple shows a month that are in the Mid-Atlantic region, I'll continue to show you those. So like if I do... There's actually an event photo I think this is in the default database called Summer Heatwave. So we probably put on that show in August. So let's say in August, if I did Summer Heatwave and the Battle for the Mid-Atlantic, I would then, which, by the way, this should be for the Mid-Atlantic. Yeah, I'm going to change that. Yeah, Battle for the Mid-Atlantic and Summer Heatwave I'll do in the same video, because I'll be doing 1 month per video. I'm still not showing FanFest, because it's literally me booking a bunch of people you've never heard of. Well, maybe not, but it's a bunch of people that are, like, not useful at all. And all we're doing is just putting on a tiny little show to try and get higher than a 14. So it's literally nothing. So anyway, I've got to run, but thanks for watching. Please leave a thumbs up, check out the rest of the series, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you for 2015. Big year. Speak to you guys then.